Welcome, Lexi. Welcome to my Crusty world. This is 10 bands you should check out that I would recommend. Number one is Paleface Swiss. They are a very abrasive band leaning towards the, slam or beatdown sounding. I don't know what they really want to be considered, but I like them a lot, and I think that they're super abrasive. It's very raw, very crunchy, very tough, very heavy. The vocals are very dry, very angry. It's not like fake sounding. It doesn't sound manufactured at all. It's very abrasive, very tough, and very heavy. If you want to hear songs by them, I would check out Lights Out, Hatred, and the Fear and Dagger album. I've listened to that a few times. It is definitely worth checking out. Second band I would consider checking out is Kublai Khan TX or Texas. Kublai Khan are awesome. They're kind of in the same vein of Paleface Swiss. It's very tough, very brutal and heavy, very crunchy, very tough, angry vocals. And it doesn't, you can hear the anger and aggression in his voice. As far as songs, I would recommend The Hammer, Theory of Mind, Super Ruler, and Darwinism. Those are some great tracks to check out. Number three is a band called The Browning. The Browning are kind of a slightly electronic based or leaning, deathcore type band. It kind of isn't quite industrial or industrial metal, but it's like has an electronic backdrop to it. It's a little bit more of a ravey, epic electronic backdrop behind the music that's kind of more like deathcore or just really heavy modern metal. The album, I listened to the Time Will Tell EP, and the full-length albums I've listened to are End of Existence and Geist. Those are worth checking out if you don't know who the Browning are. Number four. This band I discovered about 3 days ago. They're called Brand of Sacrifice. Now at first I thought they sounded just kind of like a really hardcore punk band or a metalcore or like a modern deathcore band. But then the more I listened to them, the more I noticed other elements of kind of being symphonic, a little bit industrial, more orchestrated music, and more kind of interesting things. And they're pretty musically diverse. I would definitely say, if you've not heard of Brand of Sacrifice, check them out. Check out a song called Between Death and Dream. I think it's called Between Death and Dreaming, or Between Death and Dreams. Yeah, check them out. Fifth band is an industrial band that I knew about years back, but I never really checked them out until recently. I used to listen to a lot of industrial music. I used to be a total Rivet head. I used to listen to tons of industrial and industrial metal stuff. I don't really anymore. Sometimes there's a few bands, but I just honestly think that most bands in a lot of that genre don't really live up to what they need to or should be doing. There's a few bands like Cyclone 9 and Dawn of Ashes. I think they're awesome, and I love everything that Tim Skull does. There's a few other bands, but as far as newer bands coming out, I don't think there's a ton in the industrial world that are spectacular. It's usually just more like nightclub, dancey based industrial, and that's cool for the nightclub, but a lot of industrial bands just don't live up to what they should. This band does. This band is Three Teeth. They toured with Tool years back. I would recommend anything and everything by them. Their music videos are really cool. They're diverse. They're good at songwriting. Their music is not simplistic or basic. It's not just like dancey club songs that are more noisy or weird sounding. It's real good industrial rock and industrial metal stuff. I really like it. So check out Three Teeth if you're a Rivet head. Number 6, Ingested. I don't know what they want to be considered. I think they're pretty much like a death metal band. They got really cool album covers and artwork, and every single song I've heard by Ingested is fucking sick as fuck. It's really heavy. I like it. You should check it out. A song by them is Where No Light Shines, but any song by them is good. I haven't heard one that's bad yet. Seventh band is pretty interesting and different. I didn't think I would like them very much when I first came across them. I was like, I don't know about this. Sounds like they're trying too hard. It's not gonna be cool enough, or it's gonna like fall short. But after a while, I was pleasantly surprised. This band is called King Satan, and they are basically a kind of symphonic industrial metal band. A lot of industrial metal bands, like I was talking, I don't think live up to what they should be. There's not as many good ones anymore. I think that even of a lot of the industrial bands and industrial metal bands, they usually never match up to how heavy bands are in the extreme punk and extreme metal genres. They don't match up as far as heaviness, speed, intensity, abrasiveness, technical musicianship, and everything else. But King Satan actually do. They are as heavy, are as abrasive, are as fast, are as brutal, and are as technical and quality musicianship as the extreme punk and metal genres. If you want to check out some music videos by King Satan, I recommend New Aeon Gospel, Left Hand's Path Symphony, and a song called Psygnosis, like Psy Gnosis, Gnosis. Check those out. Next band, 200 Stab Wounds. I did a review of their first debut album, Slave to the Scalpel, and they have another new album out now called Manual Manic Procedures. The opening track on it I would check out. It's called Hands of Eternity, and that first track on the new album is a masterpiece in itself. This band basically sounds like Cannibal Corpse 2.0 with more elements of like progressive or experimental metal bands that you don't usually hear as much in death metal. They're a bit more diverse. They kind of use some more ambient sounds and foot pedals and techniques that you'd hear in bands like maybe The Ocean or Neurosis or some more, progressive or sludge bands. And they also use some more kind of classic rock and roll and heavy metal techniques and sounds that they incorporate into death metal. If you don't know about 200 Stab Wounds and you like death metal, listen to them now. They are the new face of amazing death metal. Check them out. Next band is a band I don't know how to describe them or what they want to be considered at all. It's kind of death metal and black metal, kind of symphonic, it reminds me of black metal, how it's kind of symphonic and orchestrated, but it's really heavy and really brutal. The band is called Orbit Culture. There's two songs I'd recommend. One is called Saw, and one is called Descent. Both of those songs are awesome, but anything that you hear by Orbit Culture is probably good. I've liked everything I've heard by them so far. They're an interesting, diverse band. I don't know what they want to be considered or what they are, but it's really fucking good. Number 10, I discovered, a week or two ago. Band is called Vended. And it's kind of a more heavy, driving, hardcore punk, I guess. That's what it sounds like to me. And it's fast, it's abrasive, it's pissed off, it's intense, it's very driving, very abrasive and up pace. They have a song called Dead to Me, D-E-D to me, and another song called Nihilism. It's a really cliche comparison to use, but They remind me of Slipknot, like the early days of Slipknot. Like the debut album, just the vocals are very raw, very dry, very pissed off, and just aggressive, very ferocious. And I think Vended sound really fucking good, very intense and heavy. And you should check them out if you like abrasive, intense music. So those are my 10 bands you should check out if you're looking for new stuff and you don't know who any of these bands are or who some of them are. It's what I've come across in the last, 6 months. And thank you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I will respond. Share and drop money in my Cash App if you want to support the channel and see more videos.